Our Year 7 scheme of work is based around the inquiry question of when and why people have moved around the world.
And we thought it would be a nice way to end, coming into the 20th century, looking at Windrush, which was such a significant milestone in creating multicultural Britain.
So I read an article in the Guardian newspaper written by a man called Patrick Vernon, who was interested in setting up a national campaign for Windrush Day. And I thought that would be something which our students could make a fantastic contribution towards.
Right, Year 7, today we're going to do a Windrush campaign, and your learning objective is to use the task wheel that you've got in front of you, and I'm going to explain what that is. You may have seen it before, but we're going to use it to create a campaign to introduce a National Windrush Day.
The lesson today was based on a thinking skills framework called TASK, Thinking Actively in a Social Context, written by a woman called Belle Wallace. So it gave a structure that the students had to follow.
Before I even tell you anything else about the task, I want us to go straight into the top right section of the wheel that says gather and organise. Can you all have a look at the wheel? See the top right section, it says, what do I already know about this?
And when we began the lesson, we used the gather and organise section of the wheel. I asked students to generate as many ideas as they had from what they'd learned in the previous lessons about what contributions Black and Asian people had made to Britain. And students created a mind map.
Paul Ince played for the England football team.
He was the first black captain, actually, so you might want to mention that as well.
Yeah, music, right? Some ideas about what kind of music. So each group was divided into particular roles. You had a team leader, you had a scribe, you had an art director, and you had a monitor. So it's important for the students to be very clear in the tasks that they're going to be involved in.
We need to have 2 effective methods of campaign. You need to have some historical accuracy. If your campaign is going to be of any weight, it's got to actually mention these contributions you've just come up with. And lastly, we want to see some good teamwork.
Given the context of the time we had, we were going to ask them to make 2 methods of campaign in about 25 minutes.
We could design like a Facebook page and maybe a leaflet. Yeah, a leaflet would be a good idea as well.
They knew that their work that they were going to be doing would be sent off to join that campaign, and this certainly acted as a great motivational tool.
Okay, that sounds like quite a good idea.
We get an actual ship.
Yeah, so okay. I mean, it is important for the students to understand that there is a struggle. There has been a struggle to recognise the contribution that has been made by people from different cultures and different backgrounds, and that there is a need for something like the Windrush Day bank holiday to actually happen, because it's very easy to overlook the kind of histories that have been hidden.
As soon as you start teaching something like Windrush Day, you maybe talk about the context of political parties who wouldn't recognise the contribution of Black and Asian people. You find that students become increasingly passionate and willing to get involved.
2-part campaign, remember? You're supposed to have chosen your 2 best ideas only. That does look like a good bottle. What's the point of the bottle?
I put like some of their contributions in it.
Very nice. How does that work as part of a campaign? What do you actually do with the bottle? Let's get some really specific examples. If you're going to persuade someone that they've made a contribution worth recognising, you've got to mention that contribution. Okay?
Each group has a chance to present their ideas to the whole class and expect to receive some feedback from the audience who are listening.
We've designed this poster to like catch people's eye.
And we were thinking maybe also if we had time we could get like a celebrity supporter.
The slogan is Rush on the Cultural Winds.
So some were going to make a positive response, what went well in the campaign presentation, and others were asked to give a more constructive criticism.
They did have a good presentation, but I thought that the poster, you couldn't really see it.
They all spoke and it kind of showed that they had good teamwork. Also, like the poster with the message on the bottle was making it more interactive.
So they have a very strong sense of justice, and this does seem to be something they feel very strongly about. So the Windrush campaign really motivated them.
They were able to bring their own daily experience into the history classroom and really understand how Britain has changed.
We're going to take your work together with all the other Year 7s from Fortismo School, and we're going to send them off, and they're going to form part of the campaign to put pressure on the government. So watch this space. In a few years' time, you may see a bank holiday on the 22nd of June. Wouldn't that be nice?